Answers. I suppose they've got a little bit of control, because if they can doom either the terror, or I suppose to set up, if you can get the static storm, I suppose they've got a little bit of control, because if they can doom either the terror, or I suppose to set up, if you can get the static storm, I suppose they've got a little bit of control, because if they can doom either the terror, or I suppose to set up, if you can get the static storm, I suppose they've got a little bit of control, because if they can doom either the terror, or I suppose to set up, if you can get the
Oracle and Nyx, I think the support duo is way to fight early, whereas Team Oracle and Nyx, I think the support duo is burst from line. They have this disruptor ult. Lifesteal is relatively strong. Fight early, something like an armor. I don't know what his item will be. I assume he's gonna go duo is burst from line. They have this disruptor ult. That could be good, but yeah, I think Bait just have kind of weak early, so I'd like to see something in play fast. They're actually gonna ban win ranger this time. They're done with Dendy's win range.
Yeah, the 2 out of 3 ain't bad, but Dendy isn't going to be seeing it a third time here now as well. So, what? I mean, oh god, the Vipers. Here, I can't believe I forgot about Viper. But what do you think? I mean, especially with Team Unique looking for the last pick, is there anything? I assume it's going to be dependent on this last pick from Bait. Is this a Magnus mid lane actually? What do you think?
I think you could go both.
Yeah.
I believe they've been playing it on their off lane. I don't think I've seen Dendy play Magnus, so I would be more likely to say this is an off lane Magnus. Given their history of games, I don't think they particularly want it to go mid either. I think they need something that makes plays, you know? They see this Lifestealer, maybe they could try and counter it in lane. I was gonna suggest Razor, but they literally just got banned. Although I'm not sure how good it would be into Lion Disruptor either. Both heroes are pretty good at like missing from
10 seconds remaining.
Carrot. It would present a problem in the lane. What could they pick? Death Prophets. Unique have pretty good bans here, honestly. I'm not sure what Bait should, and they ban Puck themselves, so they can't really.
I speak for the trees.
This is the greediest lineup I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I suppose if the kind of hope if you're on the side of Bait, but yeah, no, that's it's a bit of a. I know teams have been picking the Nature's Prophet, you know, even slinging it on the carry position. I think Arteezy played it a couple of times, but yeah, I don't know how to feel about that. It depends on. I don't know. Sheep, you're the smart one. Tell me how I should feel.
Well, I'll tell you how I feel, then that's really bad. I mean, I thought they were going to, you know, pick some fast tempo fighter to at least allow them to have some form of early game skirmish ability, but no, they just go the complete opposite way. I also haven't seen Dendy play Nature's Prophet, so I don't know how good he is at it. I know that offlaners played Nature's, so it could be a mid Magnus. We'll see. They're gonna pick now. It is a mid Magnus. Yeah?
Yeah.
So it looks
but we
like
have.
That's actually not that bad. I'll be honest. If I look at it this way, I don't think Zeus has kill potential on Magnus, so he should be able to free farm mid. Your Nature's Prophet is going to be able to pressure Lifestealer. And now I'm looking at it from an offlane Nature's perspective, it's not that bad. I actually think it's not that bad. With Nyx as well, you're going to be able to protect your Nature's Prophet. I don't think... There's a bit of kill potential onto this Prophet, but I think it should go pretty well. I actually think that's a strong lane. So I see their plan now. They just want to bully the enemy safe lane. They want to farm this Terrorblade. They picked Terrorblade into Duke. So they know the lane. they've got Oracle teams. It's not bad, honestly. It's a very greedy draft, but I think they can get away with it. I do like this Zeus pick though into Terrorblade. I think that's a good way to pressure him early. Like we saw them last game. They tried to do a fast lineup, take down the Terrorblade. Didn't quite work out. This is their second attempt at it. We'll see if it works.
I was going to ask you about the Zeus because with the Disruptor in the team as well, with the kinetic field, is this just going to be an Ag Scepter rush here for Zeus? You know, does he want to be getting that Nimbus up as quickly as possible, looking to put some extra DPS into like the kinetic field static storm combo? Or do you think he goes for something like a Kaya first, you know, like a little bit of a slower build up, just so he can really start to build up the damage if he does?
I don't think we'll see a Kaya. I think if you're Zeus this game, you're worried about being gone on by Nyx, or you're feeling kind of confident, because like we said, they don't really have any catch until the Magnus blink, so you don't have to worry too much. I think he can greed out, get his Ether Lens, Arcane Boots first to build into it. Maybe they want to just rush this Ags. I think that would be the best for them damage-wise. Ooh. Smoke is broken.
It looks like
Belgoth.
yeah. And you're an Eon disc, so see, I stick with Aeon disc. Like,
I don't know what one's right.
I don't know if I trust Jenkins or not. So Thunderbolt's going to be coming off into No Fear. No Fear's going to be taking a little bit of damage. The Earth Spike there as well onto the Terrorblade. So Terrorblade just walking it away. Now going to get a 2-for-2 rune trade as the Treants are already up, and Nature's Prophet pushing out this out. And Nature's Prophet here, he's got the Blightstone here as well. Does he get aggressive onto the Lifestealer in this lane and just try and force the Lifestealer away from the creeps? You know, just constantly send the Treants up against Palintimos and right-clicking him just so that Blightstone is applied? Or is it, like, is this just a quicker farm on the creeps?
I think you're gonna do both. You're a ranged hero against a melee hero with no reach, so you're just gonna click him as much as you can, force him out. I mean, I think Nature's just so strong with the Treants that you can do both, you know?
Yeah.
He's gonna try and deny everything. You don't have to focus on one or the other. You're just a very strong laner with a stun backing you up, so it's gonna be really good. And then when he's secured this advantage, got treads, kill this disruptor. I think this is a very good lane sub for the
Okay, just keeping an eye on both lanes because it looks like both supports just try and want to go up against each other. No Fear though backs himself away behind the tier 1 tower, will be able to heal himself up. And goes and top lane. It's again, there's a little bit of you know, Nyx is getting brave here. Palintimos being forced back, a double impale there as well, so Palintimos going to be taking a whole load of damage, but he does have himself the 1 point into the feast, so it's not the worst thing in the world for him. You know, he's going to be salved up here now as well by Slayer as well. So Palintimos should be, I'm going to say should be fine. You know, not will be, just should be fine.
Slayer's gonna have to buy him a lot of salvage. Not a fun lane.
Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Dendy up against FN. We've seen both players, you know, taking advantage in the games, like coming through. How does this matchup go? Because Dendy always has to come in close to get these last hits. You know, he doesn't. I don't think he wants to be putting the shockwave out for every last hit, and that just opens up the door then for FN to throw out the things like the Arc Lightning, the Lightning Bolts to do the damage. You know, how does this lane go for Dendy?
I believe this lane goes perfectly fine for both of them. I mean, last game we saw the Conquer against the Wind Ranger. We thought the Conquer was going to destroy the Wind Ranger, and to be fair, he didn't. Yes, but oh, that is a death. We missed it.
I caught it on camera. It's fine.
Oh, thank God.
It's fine. Like, I only caught the end of it, but you know, it still counts.
They did. Yeah, they killed the Herald. That was really good.
Yeah, it was both went down pretty much at the same time, but it was No Fear that picked up Bignum, and it was actually it looks like it was a split, like a spread for Watson. with both Ghostic and Bignum getting credit though.
Fine. But like we were saying, last game on mid, this Wind Ranger didn't die, even though it was such a horrible matchup, just because these War Runes are so good now for mid. It makes it very hard to harass any laner down, right? I think the only way that Dendi is N, Shockwave into Scuba back into his tower. FN's so I don't think he can let that happen to him. There's no support on Dendi's team that's really good at making any sort of rotation to help this kill happen. Even when he gets RP, I'm not sure. At most I could see some sort of skewer in.
Oh, back towards the tower.
You know what? How do I say it?
FN's a professional. FN is... Is that what we were saying?
You know what, maybe I'm underestimating the dragon from Shockwave. That's pretty... It is pretty upsetting, you know? And you play against this hero, you think you're safe, and then the skewer just like really drags you in.
What did you say about predictions at the end of the last game?
I didn't predict what team would win. Okay, so they're both safe. They're both fine.
FN though, he is going to be, it looks like, killed off as Dandy does get the credit for that kill in the end. TSA with a good rotation through. Even though, you know, I think you just said that no support has a good rotation and FN should be fine.
Rob, am I a bad analyst? Oh no. Okay, sure. Honestly, that was kind of a best case situation for Bait because Nature's Prophet's just been put under his tower, so he's can farm safely. So I'm not sure if he would want to leave him a little bit further from the lane because...
I suppose that's another rotation, a quick rotation they could look for coming in like around 7-8 minutes as well. Just TP in the Nature's Prophet if FN overextends. But yeah, apart from that, let's call it a little bit of a... It was a mistake. You know, FN, he's learned his lesson and he'll never do it again.
Yeah.
But the Nyx is rotating through. He's going to be seen by the tower here now as well. So TSA is going to be taking at least one tower shot. Just needs to back himself up. Courier coming through. Gets himself... I think that was just the windlass actually that he picked up the little... Yeah, no, it started to calm down a little bit now. FN does have the 29 last hits to the 27 of Dandy. Dandy's going to actually secure himself forwards here now as well. The Impale comes out. FN, the TP comes through from the Nature's Prophet as well. But Bignum instantly rotates in. Might even get a tree in for his troubles. Now they're going to be running themselves away. But...
Timing with the creeps, they wanted to make a move. They hit the RP timing as well. It's just a shame it wasn't executed perfectly. They're gonna deny their own siege creep.
Bottom lane though, Ghostic does take down Watson. He's actually chasing on to No Fear. He's only level 5, so that was without the Doom.
I'm surprised that just happened alone. He doesn't even have a support with him. They're all just mid, currently just fighting each other in the river.
Yeah, Dendy's going to be blitzed back there as well. Couldn't get the skewer off, and that's going to be the Thunder God's Wrath that gets to kill TSA, trying to run himself away. But one more. Oh, the aspect doesn't connect, but an Arc Lightning, anything, turns off the Impale. He's actually not skilled up the Lightning Bolt, so Zeus not going to be able to finish off this kill here, SN, and TSA looks like he's going to be able to run himself away. Does have the TP there as well. There's no more chase.
So when I was talking about supports, this is what I was thinking about in terms of strength. They have Lion and Disruptor who are far stronger at rotating and moving Bait supports, but TSA can make it work. He did. Maybe we'll see some more rotations from unique supports. I don't know how Bait get off a successful RP onto Zeus sits back so far, and he's maxing his Arc Lightning. Shove out this wave safely. You'd have to commit like a skewer into a reverse polarity or have a support come from behind, but I think both teams have warded pretty nicely on the top side around, like, you know, to rotate towards the outpost and on.
Ghostic is just absolutely running this lane bottom.
I'm actually surprised he's doing so well. I thought they would get too strong for Bait to deal with after a while, and that TB would want the jungle, but I'm still surprised Ghostic managed to kill him by himself.
He's actually gone for 2 points into the Scorch. He's got the pack leader's aura as well as the critical strike as well coming through, so that's a whole lot of damage to add on top of Ghostic. Which is that the neutral that you want to be looking for early game here as the Doom? Or is there anything like a Centaur, or is that too mana dependent in the early game for Ghostic?
Centaur is what you want when you have your... It's okay in the lane, but ideally you want stuff like the tomato with the clap.
Yeah.
Want some... The dog is pretty good, the pack leader aura is very strong. I think I've watched a couple games of Doom when I was trying to learn it myself, and a couple of them went and found the Alpha Wolf. The crit was so strong in the lane. Like, this guy, look at his damage. It's 8 minutes, and he has 140 damage. It's actually really good. He does so much damage. Like, I'm assuming this is how he's managed to pick up as many kills as he has, because he just has phase boots. He runs you down. He hits you so hard, and there's nothing you can do about it. And
yeah, and with the
buffed him.
a 200% crit damage and on the 20% chance, so like 1 in 5, it is just gonna be, yeah. And I suppose when the Terrorblade, he's a little bit tanky now, but he's sitting on 880 health. You know, if you're swinging and you're taking, what's that, like a third of his health, if you get a good crit off of Watson, you just can't sit in the lane.
Probably not with that much armor, but yeah, it's just...
Well,
rough.
yeah, and so, yeah, and it's not like no fear, you know. You're not looking like a Treant Protector or an Elder Titan or someone like that that's just gonna be able to sit and lane up against the Doom as well. So Ghostic's having a really fun time. 50 lats, 50 last hits. Let's try that again. You know, he is absolutely loving life.
He really is. He's got the I'm having a good game build where you 3 points in Devour and Russian Midas. It's completely free to do so because he's had such a great lane. I have seen some greedy Dooms the last few days of watching Pro Dota. I watched a Doom go 4-4 build. He didn't even get a point in Infernal Blade or Doom. He just straight up maxes farming spells. His support stacked hard camps in the jungle, and then he farmed it all. He was so big. I don't know how you deal with a Doom who has a Midas blink at like 11 minutes into the game. This guy is just super like jacked with levels. I don't know. I don't think it's possible.
Yeah, he's even got himself the chip vest there as well. Dendy did get the kill on Slayer here in the jungle, taking down the Disruptor. I think they got the courier kill as well. So for Lintimos, that's going to delay. I think it's the armlet, because it was the yeah, it was the Helm of Iron Will that was on the courier when it got killed off. So he is going towards the armlet build this time.
Yeah. Guess he would like
to survive.
Have. Yeah, I just when you're playing against these hyper physical damage heroes like Nature's Terrorblade Magnus, I'm guessing this armlet, getting the helm with the armor is nicer for you than having a Maelstrom. You die too easily with Maelstrom, so I respect that choice.
Does this come to the point now? We are going to get another quick pause, but is this the point where you just send Lion, you know, Bignum and Slayer into the jungle and you start, because they've already started putting the wards down on the creep camps. Is this where you just kind of like flood the Radiant jungle with wards and try and stop Watson from getting any value out of this?
You can, however, they need to take bot tower first, because then they can shove the lane up and then it's easier for them to walk into the jungle. Obviously they can do it while the tower's still up, but your Doom, who has been farming for 9 minutes in the lane, suddenly disappears. You're going to be a little bit suspicious. You're going to run back.
Yeah.
You're a Terrorblade, so you do have meta. You can farm Ancients with that spell. So you're not restricted to your main jungle. Fine for you to move top, and then, you know, if all the supports are showing in your jungle, because you can, a lot of teams will leave a ward in their jungle so that they know how the enemy is moving, because like we've talked about before, teams like to swap jungles. You know, they'll invade the enemy and live there, and that's like a natural state flow of the game. So it is a common occurrence to leave a ward in your jungle so you see how they're playing. So if you see, you know, Lion Disruptor Sing in your jungle, Doom's pushing lane in, Sing in your jungle, and your Terrorblade, you're either taking your Ancients or you're gonna move to the top lane and you're gonna start to pressure that tower there instead. So there's places to go. It doesn't feel awful to be Watson, and it's, if you're unique, you probably want to get your level 6s. Lion has a 6 right now, and then you want to smoke up and try and kill him. So that's exactly what they do.
Okay, yep, they are actually going to be finding some illusions. FN just reveals himself bounces up. TSA is still in the tree, so they're going to be able to get the kinetic field off. Are they going to try and throw out the they're not, are they? No. Ignum, he's just saving that for his carries for his core players. FN will be able to secure the kill onto TSA. The tower, it's getting pretty down low. The fortification will be wearing off now, and there's a siege creep, so Ghost should be able to get there in time. Just gets that last swing, takes down the tower like you were talking about. Even got the Hand of Midas coming off cooldown, so it's all coming up Doom at the minute, and that should be, what, about 200 gold after he uses it? 300 gold off his Blink Dagger as well.
Here's the blink on Dendi now. In the mid lane, they're going to be smart.
Okay. He's got a DD rune there as well. That's going to be quite nice. But it's only Bignum showing that it's going to be the shockwave, but he's going to be able to get off the hex. What he's going to be able to do here. Spike now as well. So Dendi's going to be locked down for a lot of this, but they do get the kill onto the Lion. And now the chase, if they want to go any further, there's going to be the Sprout coming through onto Ghost Stick. The glimpse back, though. What they're going to be able to do without Static Storm. It's going to be TSA taking a whole lot of damage. He's not going to be able to get himself out of there now with Ghost Stick as well. And got a double RP onto the FN as well as the Disruptor. The kill off Slayer, the kill off FN. The chase is on Ghost Stick. Ghost Stick, though, he's 50 gold off that Blink Dagger. He does not want to be dying. The Doom coming through onto the Oracle, so he's not going to be able to get that false promise off. The tier 1 tower going to be taking a whole lot of pressure with this metamorphosis up, but it looks like Unique not going to be able to defend against this. Yeah, Palintimos is in a creep. He's out. He's done. He's like, just let it go. It's fine. It's only a tier 1.
So that was a blink reveal on both Magnus and Doom. Obviously went way better for Bait than it did. Honestly, perfect. I'm actually surprised it went as poorly as it did after Dendi didn't manage to get the skewer back on the Lion, but I guess the responses were a little bit too hard. Their team was right around the mid lane. EP times were quite long.
Oh, I love that by TSA. Yeah, that's not great in the middle of the fights when you want to be up, but I suppose the... Oh no, because the Sunder was still up there for Watson. But did you see that in the bottom jungle there? The TSA wandered in, he saw the Doom was trying to stack this creep camp, just sat in the middle of it, got the Earth Spike off, and then got the rune there as well. That's some big brain plays.
That's pretty nice.
Warriors of the wood.
I'm just a little bit sad for Unique right now because obviously your Doom is popping off. He has far more net worth than anyone else in the game. I think I've seen quite a few Dooms now. They're just sitting at 8k net worth, and then the second highest is at around 5,000. But you got to do something with that net worth, right? And when you're coming out with your Midas Blink, you're wasting Doom on a team fight that's already lost.
Yeah.
You know, now you have this 145-second cooldown spell. You have to wait so long for it to come back up before you can do anything again, because he is strong without Doom, but it's not that strong, especially with you know, Bait getting such a good fight like that. They're getting items now. Their Magnus has got an Ogre's Club. He's going for an Echo Saber. He's tanking up. Watson's playing deeper into the jungle. He's hard to access. You know, you can't... Taking a... Smoke? I mean, we're about to see a fight here, maybe?
Yeah, the Vendetta coming out, leading the line here. Nyx Assassin, there's going to be the Nature's Wrath to start it off. If you want to carry on this, they do bait it in though. Underneath the central, it's going to be a good Static Storm. They take down TSA, and now the glimpse back onto Dendi. Dendi, what's he going to be able to do? He just still have that skewer wave. He wants to get himself out of it, but the false promise comes out. Oracle forced to ultimate himself now as well, so the right click's no fear. He's just going to go for the TP. Anything to disrupt this? It looks like not, and he will be out of there. But that was the false promise used, and it's not the quickest cooldown in the world, so with the Doom being up now as well, do you think that Unique maybe want to try and force out a second fight?
Yes, they have... They do have Doom, but they don't have lifesteal who's ready to fight yet. He's just farming the jungle. Your Zeus doesn't have his ult. It's not guaranteed to get a kill. It's also very, very difficult for them to invade the jungle, the triangle right now, which is where Watson is farming. You know, they struggled last game to kill Watson, and that went really poorly in their favor as they moved to the late game. This game, you know, they punished him in lane. At least they got 2 kills on him, but now he's just tucked away here. And you have this issue where your top tier 1 is up and your mid tier 1 is up for Bait, which means that if you try and smoke into this triangle, you know, there's TPs that are going to come out on both sides, and they're going to punish you for it really hard. So it's just difficult for them to make moves like that. So I don't know how they want to utilize this Doom. They've taken bot tower, so they can go into the enemy jungle if they want. But I think the triangle is off limits for now. They just need to figure out a way to try and take this mid tower, and it's just difficult for them because they don't have a tower sieger.
Okay, it looks like it's actually going to be Bait that take the initiative here. No sentry to reveal in here now as well. Ghostic will be found out. There comes the Impale as well. Nature's Wrap. Ghostic's going to try and run himself away from this, but he's going to be... Yeah, in the end he was killed off. Bad timing for him as well, because the Midas comes up in 8 seconds, but execution once again for bait, you know, just knowing where they've got the vision, you know, where they've got the sentries, and maybe that is an observer that sees any, you know, invasions, which will be cleaned up here by No Fear, but yeah, Ghostic alone and just vulnerable there.
Yup, and we see some nice plays here from Dendy since he got his blink. He's just taking over the game right now, making the most use of his ability to initiate for his team. You know, I talked about how weak the supports were in terms of initiating, but Denny's more than making up for this game really well.
Warriors of the wood.
I guess the Arcane running the river. He's going to go for it. He's going to get caught out here. He might actually be killed off with the kinetic field being up. Thunder God's Wrath will be taken down. FN gets a revenge kill. And now the glimpse back up to TSA. Spike Carapace coming up in a second, though. The false promise will be there. He's going to pop the Spike Carapace. Do they have the damage? He infested. The blink's up in 1 second now as well. Did he want to blink himself forward? Centaur Stomp will be off the mark. So now Ghostic, does he want to try and chase down? Hand of Midas is off cooldown. So that efficiency